Hi, darling.
Hello, sweet.
You look very beautiful, did I tell you?
No, I don't believe you did.
It's so obvious, sometimes I forget. The world is round, the sea is wet, and Carol is beautiful.
Thanks. You're working pretty hard at that, aren't you?
Yeah, I keep pretty busy.
Are you worried about something?
Worried? What have I got to be worried about? I've got a swell edge on it. It looks gilt edge. It's a gala night.
Yes, of course it is. Nothing like champagne to pick you up.
You're quite right.
My beautiful, expensive apartment is crawling with beautiful, expensive people. They even smell expensive. Smell the mink and...
Not mink, sable.
You're right, sable. We think mink is common. Let him eat mink.
Well, in a few minutes, they're going to see your painting.
Yes. You think they'll like it?
Well, yes, of course they will.
Yes, I think they'll like it. Matter of fact, I think they'll like it very, very much.
Modest, aren't you?
Mm-mm. Realistic. Old Caldwell, the critic's going to be here, too. He's going to see it. Pass judgment on it.
Yes, and he's going to like it.
Yes, he'll probably say it's very interesting and well painted. Now, here's to Caldwell, Art's nursemaid.
Where's my host?
Right on cue.
Oh, hello, Dick. Well, where's that picture I was asked to see?
Oh, I'll drag it out presently. Have a drink.
Oh, no, thanks, old man. I want to be able to see your picture.
You're going to like it, Mr. Caldwell.
Carol posed for me.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a portrait.
It's not.
An abstraction.
Well, you've seen a lot of pictures. You name it. Well, boys and girls, how's about it? Shall we get the agony over with?
He's going to show us the painting. Well, darling, must you spill brandy into the piano?
Oh, Dick, it's beautiful. Oh, I do like it.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And wet it.
You know, when I finished, I thought for a moment or two maybe they'll hate it.
Oh, Dick, you must have been crazy.
Yes, I guess I must have been crazy. You don't hate it, do you? No, it doesn't disturb you or annoy you. I thought you might get the smell of sweat from it. But it doesn't smell of sweat, does it? No, it's just one of those big, clean paintings. Nothing controversial, nothing out of line. Bright, like one of those cheerful portraits that I paint. It's interesting and well painted and well composed and slick and smooth, but it doesn't mean one single blessed thing. How could it? Nice drunk. I'll let it go. If any lady or gentleman wants to take home this genuine oil painting, you'll have a mighty nice piece of art. Useful, too. You can paste a calendar on it. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Hey, you're gonna lose that boat.
Well, it isn't your boat, is it?
Never saw it before in my life.
Well, then keep your shirt on.
Do anything for you?
Yeah, you got a cigarette? Drunk again, huh?
Aren't you afraid to be out alone this time of night?
Listen, brother, if a girl wants to be safe nowadays, she's almost got alone. I was invited to a party, but it was the wrong party.
Rough, huh?
Yeah, when they started playing handball with the anchor, I was scared. If it hadn't been for that boat, I never would have gotten ashore. Well, nice to meet you socially.
Hey, wait a minute. How are you going to get back to town?
Well, I brought my roller skates.
Well, I've got my car here. Maybe I can give you a lift.
In your condition?
Well, I drove all the way out here without an accident.
Yeah, but miracles don't strike twice in the same place. How about me driving?
Great. You drive and I'll drink.
Okay, Toots. That'll be a help.
You can drive, can't you?
Driving, my lord, is just one of my many accomplishments.
Generally speaking, what are your accomplishments?
Brother, I'm a wildflower. I toil not and I haven't spun in years. And if you don't think I earn my living, try it sometime. What do you do?
I paint.
Do you have to?
I'm afraid so. As bad as I am, I couldn't do anything else half as well.
You look like a man who could do anything, once you made your mind up to it. Yeah, I get it. Gee, but you got it easy. A nice clean cage, a full dinner pail. Nothing to do but tear off a cadenza or lay an occasional egg. Boy, what a life. Well, what's on your mind?
Is everything all right, miss?
Everything's hunky-dory so far. But listen, Ellis, so far as I ever go. The boss up yet?
Possibly soon, missy.
And Missy, she's go very soon now.
Thank you, miss.
Good morning, bright eyes.
Good morning.
How's the old blood pressure?
Low.
Sit down and take the weight off your worries.
Thanks.
Coffee?
Yeah, black. If you'll pardon my curiosity, well, what are you doing here?
Darling, don't you remember little Gloria? Gloria with the laughing eyes? Gloria with a song in her throat?
I never saw you before in my life.
No. Think hard, dearie. A jug of gin, a starry night, and thou beside me in the driver's seat? Remember?
Oh, yeah. You drove me home last night.
And brought you up, me and the elevator boy. Your man Friday in there was dead to the world, so I put you to bed.
You're a pretty good egg, aren't you?
Pretty good. The way you were feeling, I thought you might need a little first aid, so I left your bedroom door open, and I took a couple of winks on your couch in the studio.
Out here, Carol.
Hello, sweet.
Good morning, darling. This is Miss, what is your name, anyway?
Gloria Hudson.
Miss Hudson. She brought me home last night.
Well, I'm very grateful to you.
Don't mention it.
Darling, I'm terribly sorry about last night.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I behaved like a child. Somebody should have punched my face.
Oh, don't be silly, darling. Everybody had a grand time. You made a swell speech and a gallant gesture. It isn't everyone who has nerve enough to destroy his best work just because it isn't good enough.
It isn't good enough. What I said last night's been brewing a long time.
All right, my dear. Now you know that. Do it over.
I'm going to. Will you pose for me again?
No, thank you, sir.
Why not?
Well, in the first place, in case you've forgotten, I have a date to be married in just 1 month, and I have 40,000 things to do.
But, Carol.
No. No, get yourself a good professional model and go to work. And let me get on with lists and showers and fittings. Goodbye, Miss Hudson. Thanks a lot for taking care of Dick.
Oh, that's okay. Anytime.
Bye, darling.
I'll take you to the door.
Oh, no, don't tax yourself, sweet. For your frail condition, I've heard tomato juice with Worcestershire sauce. Highly recommended.
Bye, dear.
Bye-bye.
Say, you certainly get the breaks, don't you?
Yes, there aren't many like Carol.
Aren't many. Don't kid yourself. There isn't one dame in a million wouldn't hit the ceiling finding me here like this.
Oh, does that worry you? No, that wouldn't bother Carol. Say, do that again, will you, please?
Do what again?
Stretch your arms way up above your head.
Listen, if it's the Daily Dozen, Baby doesn't want to play.
No. Did you ever do any posing?
No, why?
Would you like to?
How much does it pay?
A couple of dollars an hour.
No, thank you so much.
It's drier work than walking home from yacht.
You got me. Well, last night never happened before, and it won't again. I work in the floor show at the Glass Slipper.
Oh, I see. You don't want to work in the daytime.
No, mister. You see, I can't seem to break myself of that old habit of sleeping once in a while. Oh, don't bother about me. I'm going to change into my own duds, and then I'm on my way. Thanks for the lift, the bed, and the breakfast. Say, if you and Miss,
Holder.
Well, if you ever do the late spots, drop in at the club. The music's good, and the food's terrible. So long.
Goodbye.
Believe it or no, but all he wanted me to do was to pose for him.
How do you know he's an artist?
Well, he's got a studio, hasn't he? A lot of pictures. He showed them to me.
Listen, my friend, if every guy that has pictures to show you was an artist, this would be a beautiful world.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking, but you're wrong. This guy's different.
They all are at first. You're not going to pose for him, are you?
Why not?
You working to think that'd slip your mind.
Oh, sure, I know, but can't tell. There might be some laughs in this posing racket. Take it, will you, Fan?
Oh, Mr. Travis. Why, Mr. Travis, it's good to hear your voice again. Gloria was saying to me only this morning, gee, Fran, she says, I wonder whatever become of Mr. Travis.
Yeah, you couldn't tell the truth, could you?
I sure am glad you girls miss me, especially Gloria. You know, I'm a fool over Gloria. You don't mind, do you?
Of course I do. All right. You can like Gloria best, but don't forget little Fan, you big buzzard.
I sure won't. Say, Fan, how about a little party tonight? You know, I have a friend here from out of town, and I thought we four drive up the river and have a little dinner, and then after dinner, we'd go to a nightclub.
Oh, Mr. Travis, we just love to. We adore going places with you. And any friend of yours is a friend of ours. And
I tell you, I won't go out with that big bozo.
Oh, Gloria, be a sport.
Bores me stiff.
A guy with his dough couldn't bore me.
Well, I give you, Travis. I won't go.
Well, she can't. Well, what's the matter?
Well, the most tragic thing happened. I practically could tell you. Gloria was robbed.
I was what?
Yeah, she was practically cleaned out. Of course, the only really nice thing she had was her mink coat. It nearly killed her to lose that.
I never had a mink coat.
And so you see why she just can't go out with you tonight, having no mink coat.
Well, that's too bad. But, now look here, Fan. I want to do just the right thing for you.
Why, Mr. Travis, Gloria couldn't do a thing like that. Why, Gloria wouldn't dream of accepting expensive presents from a man. Whatever would anybody think of her?
Listen, I won't.
All right, Mr. Travis. I'll meet you at Page Brothers before the shops close, and we'll pick out something we feel sure she'd like. Goodbye. Well, how you like that?
I don't.
It's too bad, because it looks like one of us is going to get a mink coat.
Hey, don't do that. I don't look good that way.
That's a shame. You're posing, you know, not admiring yourself in the mirror. Oh, never mind. Relax. I can't use your face anyway.
What was that again?
Do anything you want with your head. I'm only going to draw your figure. I can't use your face.
What's the matter with my face, I'd like to know?
I can't see it. Hidden under those ridiculous false eyelashes you wear. That gummy mask of makeup. You know, you girls are funny. You deliberately blot out any trace of individuality you might have. Your mouths are alike, your eyes are alike, your hair's just like everyone else's hair. You're as standardized as a lot of cheap cars.
It's a shame for one guy to be so wise. You ought to incorporate. I saw your fiancée yesterday. Did she have makeup on, or did she?
Of course she did. Carolyn uses makeup for emphasis, not as a disguise.
I have to laugh at myself.
What for?
For getting up like a cockeyed rooster and coming here to pose for you for $2 an hour. Can I get a cigarette?
All right.
When I'm in the show, I make plenty. And the guy I don't like, and there isn't $100 in my corsage, he's out.
$100 doesn't seem much.
That's just for taking me to supper. Funny. I never ran across an artist before, but this place and the way you dress, I always thought they had long hair and lived in an attic.
No, you're more apt to find that kind of artist on the stage or in the movies. No, nowadays it's considered perfectly all right to shave and bathe and pay your rent. And that is if you don't overdo it.
I thought you couldn't be a genius unless you were starving or something.
Yeah, that's the romantic idea.
What do you mean romantic?
It's pretty hard to feel inspired when you're cold and hungry. Too busy thinking about pork chops and gravy.
Which reminds me I'm starved.
Oh.
Good morning, Miss Hudson.
Hello.
Oh, Dick, that's nice.
You like it?
Yes, very much. Is Miss Hudson posing for our picture?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know, Miss Calder. I'm not so sold on this posing racket. My feet get so sleepy you can almost hear them snoring.
I'm taking you out to lunch, my lad, so take off your overalls. I've fallen in love with our house, and I want you to see it. I think it's a perfect place for us. And I want a perfect place for us.
Oh, Miss Hudson, if you want to have lunch here, I'll have Keto bring you in something.
No, thanks. I have to watch the scales.
Have a nap?
Oh, what time is it?
About 2:30.
Gee, I must have fallen asleep. You shouldn't have let me fall asleep.
Why not?
Well, I don't like people to see me when I'm asleep.
Why?
I don't know. I'm fussy. Excuse me.
Hello? Is anybody home?
Well, what in the world are you doing abroad at this time of day?
I'm lost. I went somewhere last night. I can't remember where I was or what I did. All I do know is that about an hour ago, I found myself in a lake in the park, frightening the ducks.
Well, why in the world do you suppose you were doing that?
I don't know. I'm very fond of ducks. Oh, by the way, how's your little canary?
Swell.
Good. I brought it some lettuce.
Oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm. As I was saying, I was dressed officer. Awful nice fella. He helped me get dressed, but he insisted on taking my name. And I couldn't give it to him.
Why not?
I couldn't remember it. Oh, dear.
Well, what's the matter now?
I can't remember it now.
Well, maybe I...
No. Don't help me. I've got to figure it out for myself. Huh? But soft. What light through yonder window breaks?
Miss Hudson, she's posing for me.
The east. And Juliet is the sun.
Oh, you're not.
I'm fine.
Can you two amuse yourselves for a moment?
Oh, certainly.
Sure.
Tell me, do you like doing this, or do you get paid for it?
Oh, I get paid for it, and don't you forget it.
Splendid. You know, people who work for pleasure are just drudges, slaves, worms. How about a drink?
Oh, do you drink?
Not very well, but I'm getting better and better every year. Ah. M'apri sul amore il mio sguardo l'incontro. That's from the opera, Martha.
It certainly is.
Do you sing?
I sing, and I get paid for it. Haven't you ever been at the Glass Slipper?
Sure. Now, don't tell me we've met before. Oh, I couldn't forget a thing like that.
I sing there, and I dance there, too.
Yeah? Would you sing for me now, my precious? Well, never mind. You're engaged.
Engaged for what?
Engaged to me. Come along. Let's go.
Where are we going?
To Havana in the morning. Yeah, I've got the ticket somewhere.
But I've got a date.
Oh, forget it. Come with me and your fortune is made.
Doing what?
Why, singing, of course.
How about it, Mr. Stark?
Well, it's hardly my affair.
Ah, you see? It's our problem. Let's go.
Wait a minute. We'll flip for it. You got a quarter?
No, but I have a lucky piece. As a matter of fact, it has a very interesting history, if you'd like to hear it. I was Africa bound.
I believe I've heard it.
Oh.
Heads I stay with you, tails I go with a nut. Okay?
Okay.
You lose.
Yeah, that's too bad. As you will.
Bye.
Think I'll go home and get up.
I think that'll be all for today.
We haven't done much, have we?
No, we haven't done much. What is it?
Do you want to see me again?
Yes, of course.
You didn't seem to mind when your friend wanted to take me off your hand.
Oh, my dear girl, why should I stand in your way? Fritz is dripping with money.
Well, same time tomorrow, huh?
Same time tomorrow.
Boy, am I glad to be home.
Whose idea was it anyway? Us going out with college boys.
Mert Lane, she said they were big spenders.
She did she?
If they were big spenders, my house is cunning. All I got was a round trip to New Haven.
They certainly knew how to punish the grape juice.
Mine didn't drink.
He was so busy spilling cocktails all over me, he didn't have time. And when it came to dancing, his feet were the prodigal son, and my feet were a doormat with welcome home written all over them. Tried to get out of his way, but it wasn't any use. No matter where I hid my feet, his dogs were sure to find them. It's a fine thing.
What's the matter, honey?
Why, it's 5 o'clock already. I might as well not go to bed at all.
How long are you going to keep on with this nonsense?
You tell me. They dropped me when I was very young, and I'm still dumb.
I'll say you are. I'd like to know what hold this guy has over you.
He hasn't got any hold over me. I could quit tomorrow if I wanted to.
Yeah, well, why don't you? You're sure not getting a bankroll out of it.
How could I at $2 an hour?
Pete, the crow's feet around my eyes look like elephant tracks.
I'll say.
And from what you tell me, he isn't exactly fast company.
He isn't even good company. When he works, he freezes up like an iron deer.
I don't see why you want to pose for a guy that don't even possess animal magnetism.
I told you once I was doing it for the lads. I wish you'd keep your stuff off my bed.
Say, you wouldn't be falling for a dope like him, would you?
After living with me for 3 years, you ought to know me better than that.
Well, I used to think I did, but we're kind of hard to classify.
Oh, go to bed. Morning, boss. I'm late.
You're telling me.
All right, I'm sorry. What do we do first?
Get started, if you don't mind.
You want me to climb into that high-priced Mother Hubbard I've been wearing?
Wait a minute. You've washed your face.
Yeah. How do you like it?
Believe me, it's 1,000 times better.
Well, every man to his own taste. I think I look like a peeled egg.
Did you do that because of what I said a few days ago?
Well, look, I better get into that dress. Haven't photographs cut into this painting racket pretty much?
As a matter of fact, I have.
Say, do you expect to get paid for that thing?
No.
Gee, that's too bad. Say, I know a fellow over on Broadway makes a lot of money taking photographs and coloring them by hand. Of course, he soaks you for them, but they're sure lovely.
I'll bet they are. I painted a lot of pretty pictures, too, in my time. Yeah, the studio's full of them. Come on, you're tired. Let's have some lunch. I'll show you some work your friend on Broadway couldn't do, even with a camera. You like that?
No, not so much. I don't get it. All those bright colors and funny wavy lines.
Well, it's a violent kind of place. Scorching sun, waving grain. Wait a minute. How about that?
Gee, that's okay. You can really tell it's cold, can't you?
That's just it. The next time a cold day comes along, you're more apt to see beauty in it. Because some good artist has helped you to see it.
I don't know if any artist could make some of the buzzards I know look any better to me.
Oh, yes, he could, really. Well, I don't mean the subway suddenly packed with beautiful people. But if an artist has taught you to see, they become more interesting. You begin to notice bone structure, the way the light falls in their faces. You think I'm crazy, don't you?
No, I'm just beginning to get it. I never thought of it that way before.
Gee, when I first began to study painting, I felt like a kid who's been nearsighted all his life and suddenly puts on glasses. For the first time can really see.
Yeah?
Oh, I've been a slick painter. I've made a lot of money, too. But I've never in my life felt that I helped anyone to see more clearly. That I gave them, well, anything. You don't know how much I want to do that.
I'll bet you do it, too.
I hope I can. I think I can. Especially if you'll help me.
Well, it's a new line for me, helping out a painter, but I'll sure try.
That's swell.
Well, back to work, huh?
You have another cigarette. I have a call to make. Hello, darling. Would you have dinner with a guy who misses you very much? Break it, darling. Please, it's important. Oh, bless you, that's grand. I'll call for you at 7. Bye, Swade. Come in, will you, Gloria?
All right.
You remember after what you said you'd like to help me?
Yeah.
Come here for a minute. I'll explain to you as well as I can what I'm trying to get at. Do you see the outline of those figures down there?
Yeah.
I want them to represent all the ugliness, the sordidness of the struggle for existence. You know, there's still old-fashioned jungle cruelty in the world.
You're telling me? So the best thing to do is keep your claws sharp.
That's what they think. They're mean and suspicious, fighting all the time. But it's left its mark on them. It shows in their faces.
Listen, we all get old and ugly.
Yes, of course we all get old. But there are people who get old and beautiful.
Well, that's because they were good, huh?
In a sense, yes. Because they were kind and unselfish. There's nothing sappy about that.
Oh, I get it. I'll be a girl who loves the whole cockeyed world, and that's what makes me happy and beautiful.
You think that's silly, don't you?
Mind reader.
This girl you're posing for has had nerve enough to be kind and gentle.
Listen, paint the portrait of a woman who's kind and gentle and call it the portrait of a sap. If you want it to be true to life, why don't you give her a black eye?
Let's call this off, shall we? There's no use going any further. You think I'm crazy. I think...
What do you think?
Let's not go into that.
Yes, let's. You're firing me out of this dandy little $2 job. Please give me a couple of laughs.
All right, you asked for it. I think you're about as cheap and insensitive as they come. Oh, you'll do all right for a while, yes. You'll find plenty of $100 bills in the flowers without giving anything for them. You'll have a lot of fun, and then one of these mornings you'll wake up and find wrinkles in your face. That lovely chin line of yours will begin to sag. You'll find yourself without one warm human relationship in the world. It'll be a different story then.
Don't kid yourself. I'll have plenty laid by, and that's all that counts. You take your unselfishness, and I'll...
You'll take baloney, all right. Change your things, will you?
I certainly will. One more night like tonight, and they can have this place.
I'll say we're too good for that crowd, fully.
Hey, you. No, not you, Gloria.
Why can't it be me once?
Party at table 12 want you to join them.
Lucky me.
Be nice, do you hear? They're big spenders and very, very good customers.
Are you by any chance referring to the noisy drunk with the jowl?
Did anyone ever tell you you're too... Come on, hurry it up, honey.
Anything good?
Sensational. I'm Fortune's fool.
You mean the one who...
Yeah, the one who looked like he had apples in his mouth.
Note for you, Miss Hudson.
Thank you very much.
Fatty sure is impatient.
Don't kid me. He can't write. That's a funny one. Dick Stark, the big palate needleman, is out front. After kicking me out of my ear this afternoon.
Don't forget you have a date with some important spenders.
I did have. It's all yours now.
For Gloria.
I was pretty unpleasant this afternoon, wasn't I?
Well, I wasn't what you'd call a honey myself.
You know, I'm going to get married in a couple of weeks.
Yes, I know.
I did want to finish the picture before then. I suppose after this afternoon it'd be a little presumptuous to ask you to pose for me again.
Look, could we sit down on that bench? My dogs are barking.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, I hate to think of starting all over again with somebody else.
Gee, I'd like to help you out, but I can't catch on to that be good and you'll be beautiful stuff.
I guess I did sound a little sappy today. But honestly, the thing I'm talking about isn't sappy. Gosh, I wish I could try something.
What?
I wish you'd give me just a couple of weeks, and I'd try to prove to you that, to sell you the idea of what I'm talking about.
You can sell me the idea that everything I've learned in 2 years is all wet. You're a pretty good salesman.
I'd give anything in the world to try it.
Say, is this all okay with Miss Coulter?
Miss Coulter? Well, she has nothing to do with it.
No. Don't forget you're going to be married in 2 weeks.
Oh, yes, I know, but this is too exciting to miss. We've got to try it.
So, we're going to play school for 2 weeks, huh?
Yeah, well, it'll be grand fun. Well, what's the
Oh, I was just thinking. Sure would be a funny note if I should teach you something.
Yeah, it would be funny. It's perfectly possible.
Want a stick of gum?
Yeah, thanks.
It is nice, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Nice and simple.
You know, those things we had to wear in Mimi's wedding made us all look like those dolls you put over telephones. Oh, darling, I'm dead.
Well, cheer up. You'll only be married once. I hope.
Yes. For better or for worse, till death do us part. Well, I hope death doesn't us part for 80 or 90 years. Oh, I'm so weary. I'm going to bed at 6 o'clock.
6? Aren't you going to the opera tonight? No?
Oh, sweet, I just haven't the energy. I phoned your mother, and she forgave me.
But Miss Hudson's going with us tonight.
Oh, yes? That should be interesting, too. Oh, even so, I'm too tired. Are you getting anywhere with it, Dick?
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I think so. Sometimes she's so instinctively right about things. Then again, Oh, the trouble with that kid is she knows so darn many things that aren't so. You know, we went to the museum the other day. What's the matter?
Well, I can stay about 5 minutes more, and then I have to go to another ghastly, boring fitting. Please, let's not talk about your prize pupil.
All right. Let's talk about us.
It's funny. When I was a kid,
You know, way back last year.
I used to think about getting married. I had a plan all worked out. I was going to marry someone who was much more in love with me than I was with him.
Well, that's just what's going to happen to you.
Darling. I was always a little bit aloof. I could see myself moving to a beautiful house.
Oh, being aloof.
Yes, in sort of Grecian clothes.
Well, I'd make a swell Mark Antony.
Oh, darling. Oh. And now I'm going to be married. And I haven't any independence. I'm just a girl who's going to marry Dick Stark, and that's all I want to be. Because I love you with my whole heart.
Darling.
Oh, heavens, if I'm late again, Mother'll disown me. And you'd better start making plans for your bachelor dinner. I'll be darned if I'm going to worry about that, too. Have a nice time at the opera, dear.
Thank you.
Isn't it wonderful?
Do you like it?
Well, the way I feel now, I hope it never ends.
Well, you get your wish. As I recall this opera, it goes on forever.
Buck, aren't you enjoying yourself?
Opera to Mr. Stark is a social obligation, not a pleasure.
Well, of all people.
Hello, darling. How are you, sir?
Very well.
Hello, boy.
You remember Miss Hudson, don't you?
Miss Hudson is one of the few things that I can remember. How do you do? You know what I wish? I wish somebody would join me in the cafe. In fact, I wish you'd all join me
Well,
in the
thank you,
cafe.
Frederick.
Thank you, Frederick.
Miss Hudson, I'll join you later.
Oh, that's fine.
When did you get back, Frederick?
Last night. Oh, what a lovely trip. Oh, no place like Havana. You'd love it. Yeah, the women smoke cigars.
You like her mother?
I defy anyone not to like Miss Hudson.
How about you, Dad?
Your mother's justified me, so what can I say?
Don't let him tease you, Dick. Of course he likes her.
Fine. You've always done as you please, but it seems to me that just before your wedding was a bad time to play with fire.
What do you mean?
You remember the story of the martyrdom? How he burned with a holy zeal to save her soul? He saved it, but at the cost of his own.
Oh, there's no danger, Dad. We're just playing a game. I'm teacher, she's pupil. As soon as she's learned her lesson, school's out. Excuse me, Mother.
Well, that's splendid. That's great. So Carol and Dick are really going to get married, huh?
Of course. Whatever made you think when?
Oh, nothing. I just wondering.
You better stop wondering.
I've stopped. Tell me, have you ever been around the world?
No, I've never been around the world.
Well, as soon as you've finished this painting, how would you like to go?
A trip around the world with the right man would be wonderful.
We're off. Oh, hello, boy. Would you like something to eat or something to drink?
No, thank you. I'm afraid there isn't time, Fred. We better get back.
Goodbye, old boy. Bye.
Thanks, Fred.
Please remember where you are.
Oh, this is lovely.
What?
Everything. Stars, city, music. Everything.
You liked the opera tonight, did you?
Of course I did. That was a real story.
Well, what do you know about the story? It was all in Italian.
You couldn't miss that story if it was in Chinese. There was a woman who had everything she wanted. Never mind how she got it, she had it. Then along comes a nice young kid with nothing except love. He knew all about the way she'd been living. He didn't care, he loved her. So she gives up everything she has and goes away with him.
Don't you think that was a little foolish?
No, I think it was the smartest thing she ever did. Then along comes his father and tells her how people have been talking and that she's ruining the boy's life. So she goes back where she came from. But she does it in a grand way. She lets him think that she's fed up with him, that he's just another man.
But she paid for it with her life. Not a very happy ending.
Why not? I saw my mother die. I know she was happy to go.
I've never heard you mention your mother before.
No, I don't like to talk about her any more than I can help. Boy, life certainly gave her a ride, all right. She ran away from home to team up with my father.
What was he like?
Was around enough for me to find out. He never earned a living for her. He was a drunk. I was the only one who hated him. Do you know, she loved that guy right up to the finish. She died smiling because she knew he was waiting for her. Can you believe it? She died smiling.
What is it?
It's that all of a sudden I know she was right. She never had anything, no money, no nothing. But she loved somebody. All these years I've been feeling sorry for her. But she didn't need anybody to be sorry for her. If you've got nerve enough to give yourself up to something like that, you're a cinch to die smiling. morning.
Good morning. How do you feel?
Much better, thank you.
Well, it's finished. How do you like it?
Oh, I think it's beautiful. Look, I think I better go now.
Of course. I'll write you out a check.
No, please, I'd rather not.
All right.
Well, I hope your picture's a big success and everything. So long. Thanks a lot.
You know, I'm going away for a while.
Oh, are you? What's your wedding?
I'll be back for that.
Yes, of course. Well, goodbye.
Bye.
You know, I'm worried about you.
If you'd stop worrying, Fan, you'd have fewer wrinkles.
I'm the worrying type. I met a very unusual mug at a party last night. We were talking about this and that and tossing a few cocktails down the old chute. And he says to me, he says, will always worry because you're the intellectual type.
Then why are you worrying about me?
On account of this picture, this is the 5th time you've drugged me in to look at it. If you're so pleased with your own pan, why not admire it in front of a looking glass?
Well, I myself as I really am. I want to see myself as some people think I am.
I don't want to see what people think about me. It's bad enough having to hear it.
Hello, Miss Hudson. Oh, how are you, Miss Coulter? I'd like you to know my friend, Miss LaRoe. How do you do, Miss LaRoe? Is this your first visit?
I wish you'd hush. I tell her she ought to get herself a cot and a can of sterno and move in.
It's so nice seeing you here.
Awfully nice seeing you.
Oh, I think it must be closing time. Would your friend join me in a cup of tea?
Oh, we'd love to. Come on, honey.
That'd be lovely. Have you heard from Mr. Stark?
Why, yes, I had a postcard from him this morning.
How is he?
Oh, all right, I guess. Dick never writes anything. He just grabs a card, puts his mark on it, and mails it. Generally without a stamp.
Where is he now?
Oh, somewhere off the coast of Maine.
I hope there.
Fan.
It's men like him, Miss Coulter, that give their sex a bad name.
Fan, Miss Coulter happens to be engaged to Mr. Stark.
Well, honey, maybe you know best.
Oh, why don't you like Mr. Stark?
I got no patience with an atheist.
An atheist?
Some people can't leave well enough alone. They always got to be improving on the works of the Creator. All right, then. Any man who thinks he's that good is an atheist.
But supposing Miss LaRoe turned out to be something the Creator didn't intend us to be.
Oh, so you're an atheist, too?
Fan, it's getting rather late. Don't you think we ought to be going?
Sure.
Miss Coulter, I'm awfully sorry, but Fan and I are rehearsing in a show, you see.
Oh, that's quite all right. The best of luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Fritz is only giving this party on account of you. If you back out, he's liable to call the whole thing off.
Would that be terrible?
Well, it sure would be a disappointment. Look, honey, since you're so stuck on this guy, I think it would be swell if you could marry him.
Who said anything about marriage? Besides, he's going to marry Miss Coulter.
Sure, that's it. But just because you can't have him, there's no sense in having nothing. It's too bad you can't have layer cake, but what's the percentage in starving to death when there's loads of bread and rolls around?
Yes, I guess you're right.
Then you mean you'll go tonight?
Sure, why not? Fritz is a swell guy, and he's a big spender. Why, he's the kind of girls like us ask Santa Claus for.
That's my pal. That's the old Gloria.
Yeah, that's the old Glory, all right. Come on, help me get dressed, will you?
Darling. Hello.
Hello, Carol.
Well, did you have a nice trip?
Yep.
And did you get it all thought out, whatever it was?
Yes, whatever it was, I got thought out.
Weren't you pleased with the criticism of your picture?
Yes. Carol.
You're in condition, my lad, because we've got a round of dinners and cocktail parties that's really pretty frightening.
Carol, let's cut all that.
I know. I feel that way, too. But of course we can't.
Yes, we can. We've got to.
Well, don't be so grim, darling. We'll have fun. They're good parties. It's just that there's so many of them.
Carol, marry me now. Tonight.
Oh, it would be fun.
I have my car downstairs with date. We'll find a justice of the peace.
Oh, no, sweet. It's very romantic and exciting, but we can't possibly.
Well, I can't go through with all this complicated, ridiculous rigmarole. Cocktail parties, theaters, dinners. If you loved me, Carol, you'd marry me now, quietly. Without all this.
Dick.
Carol, go with me now. Carol.
Oh, yes, my dear. You went away and thought the whole thing up. You reminded yourself of your obligation to me. You reminded yourself how much I loved you. And then you came back to face your obligation. My dear.
Carol, you don't understand. It's just that I couldn't go through with all that complicated...
If you had another 2 weeks to think about it, you couldn't go through with it. You can't stand the thought of marrying me because you don't love me. You're in love with that girl. Run along with you, Dick. I'm afraid I'm going to cry, and I'd rather you didn't see me crying.
Oh, my dear. I'm so sorry.
You please go away.
Gloria, this is her dance. I say, old boy, I'm sorry, but as a matter of fact, Gloria promised to have this dance with me.
Just a minute. Don't you remember you promised me this then?
Did I?
Thank you for rescuing me. Pretty nice tonight.
I'd like to be lots nicer, but I'm afraid it would bore you. You are bored, aren't you?
No, no.
Oh, yes, you are. Do you want to leave?
Would you mind terribly if I did?
Of course not. I'll take you home.
Oh, but I don't think you ought to go. After all, it's your party.
Listen, I'll sneak away and come back, and they'll never even miss me. Come on.
I was getting along all right, in my own funny way. Then he came along and changed everything. Gave me a new pair of glasses so I could see things I'd never seen before. But what? I don't belong where he put me, and I'm no good for the life I used to live. I tell you, I hate him.
Now what?
Me? I'm ready for the first good sales talk that comes along, but it's got to be good. I've been on the small time long enough. From now on, I'm going to be featured.
Splendid. I have a suggestion to make that might work out beautifully.
Have you?
Mm-hmm. The Monrovia sails on Thursday for a trip around the world. How about it?
No.
Oh.
But, you might ask me again next Tuesday.
Yes.
Miss Hudson, your cousin's upstairs.
What cousin?
Second or third, I reckon. You don't look enough like first cousin.
Oh, darling. It's been so awful.
I know. Like being cut in two. It's all right now. We're together again.
But Dick, what about Carol?
It's all right.
Does she know you're here?
I went to her tonight as soon as I came back. It's all right, darling. There's nothing now except us. When are you going to marry me?
Whenever you want.
Tomorrow.
All right.
No, stay here.
No, but I've got to say some things to you, and I can't say them when I'm so close to you.
You don't have to say anything.
Oh, yes, I do. Let me go. It isn't going to be easy, you know. Lots and lots of times you're going to wish I was different. I'll say things and do things that'll jar you. Oh, it'll take such a lot of patience. Dick, I hope you an awful lot, because sometimes only an awful lot of love will save us.
And sometimes I'll be a snob or a stuffed shirt. And you'll have to be patient with me. We'll manage somehow, darling. We're bound to be happy.
And miserable.
And miserable.
Oil and vinegar. They don't mix, but they make a swell dressing.
Where shall we go tomorrow?
I don't care. Anyway.
Ever been to Arizona?
No. The longest trip I ever made was to Coney Island.
You might not like it at first, but after a while it'll get you.
Tell me about it.
Color everywhere you didn't dream could exist. You find yourself breathing for the first time. At night, the stars are so low, you feel as if you could reach out and grab one of them.
Don't tell me that's another package.
Come in.
I'm sorry to like this.
Well, that's all right. The room's all cluttered up and everything, but, come in anyway. Do you know Miss LaRose?
Oh, yes, how do you do? If you don't mind, I'd like to see Miss Hudson alone, please.
I get it. Well, make it a clean fight, girls. Keep your punches up and breaking the clinches.
He's very amusing.
Yes, sometimes, but this isn't one of them. Perhaps you'd like to sit down, thank you.
I hardly know how to begin. This is going to be a little embarrassing.
Well, that's okay. Let's have it.
In the first place, I want you to believe that what I'm about to say is not prompted by jealousy. Dick isn't in love with me anymore, and that's the best of all reasons why we shouldn't be married. But his happiness is very precious to me.
If you're trying to get me to give him up, you're wasting your time. You've no right to ask it, and I won't do it.
Do you know that Dick and his father have parted because he approved of you?
But his father doesn't know anything about me.
You see, people have begun to talk.
What about?
About your life. The way you live.
That's past. They haven't any right to talk about me now. Let me ask you something. Supposing somebody had leprosy. That bars them from a lot of things. Sort of a closed door. But supposing that somebody got cured, don't you think that the door ought to open? Dick knows all about me, but he loves me just the same. And I love him. Do you believe that?
Yes, I believe you.
Well, then I don't see why.
I understand you. But most people won't. They'll consider you a handicap to Dick. All his friends will slip away.
His friends?
Yes, his people. His work. He'll lose it. And after a while, he'll realize it. Oh, I know he won't blame you. But you'll blame yourself. And you'll both be terribly unhappy. That's why you must give him up.
But I love him. He's the only man I've ever loved, and I can't live without him. He doesn't need his father, his friends. He needs me. And I won't give him up, and I won't listen to you. Now, get out of here. Get out. Oh, wait a minute. Let me think.
Gloria, don't you see why you must give him up? It's because you love him. I'm being very cruel to you now because I love him. He'll hate me when he finds out, but I must risk his hate. I must have happiness. Gloria, do you want to hurt him?
All right. You don't have to talk anymore. You win. I'll exit. Laughing.
Goodbye, my dear. Please try not to hate me too much.
Get Fitz Egan on the phone.
Good evening. From this is the start, a little bird. And don't put any salt on it. They don't like it. Hello, hello, hello. Is anybody home?
Yeah, come in.
Oh. My dear old thing, what is going on here?
I'm going away.
You don't tell me. Now, that is a coincidence.
How do you mean?
I'm going away, too. I came up here to tell you. Say, have you got a drink? Splendid. I have a very rosy feeling. It took me a minute to get it, and I don't want to lose it. If it isn't too personal a question, aren't you getting married?
You bet I am.
Aha!
What time are you leaving?
Oh, about 8 o'clock. Pretty good time to leave, isn't it?
You better shake a leg if you want to make it.
Huh? Oh, no. It's a funny thing. I've never made a connection yet. No matter how I procrastinate. No matter how I procrastinate. Oh, well, you know what I mean. Where are you going?
Arizona?
Arizona? I'm going around the world. Yes, sir. China, Japan, Mocha, Java, so on and so forth.
If you don't mind my asking, are you going alone?
Do I look like the sort of fellow who's around the world alone?
No. Pardon me.
Oh. Pardon me.
Thank you.
Funny thing is, you know the party I'm taking with me. Yeah. I met her here, first of all. They're right on this very spot. You know, that model of yours, the pose for that remarkable picture of yours.
What are you talking about? When did you make this arrangement?
Oh, about an hour ago.
An hour ago? Oh, she couldn't.
She certainly could. What's the matter? Don't mind? Yeah. Oh. Well, I'd better be hurrying along. Goodbye. Well, you'd better take me to the door. You see me again. We may settle down in Mesopotamia. Well, goodbye. All right. Happy journey. Hope you like Arizona. Arizona. Sand and moonlight and Indians. You'll get your fill of them, especially the Indians. I don't know. You'll probably like them. Well, goodbye. Well, here we are.
Look,
I mean, here you are. This is your room, you know.
Oh, yes, it's very nice.
I'm glad you like it. But I'm camping neighborhood. I'll be sort of in and out. Well, I may run out of things, you know, and come in here to borrow a cup of sugar or...
A bit of tea in the afternoon.
Oh, in the afternoon. Yeah. If you need anything anytime, don't hesitate. Oh, no, I believe in the community spirit.
All right, Fred.
Yeah, so do you, don't you? I know. Well, here you are. And may heaven bless you.
Hey?
Thank you. Wait a minute. Don't go. Tell me, where's the bar?
Well, sir.
No, don't tell me. No, I'll see if I can smell it out.
Oh, very clever, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, everybody is so lovely on this boat, I'm going to have a... Where are you? Oh, Gloria.
Here I am.
Oh, there you are. What do you say if you... Oh, what do you say if you and I go to the bar and have a brace of cocktails, huh?
Why don't you go ahead? I'll join you later.
Splendid. You know, I have the rosiest feeling. I don't want to lose it. Goodbye.
Bye. Head steward, please. Steward, this is Miss Hudson in 22. I want all my luggage taken off the boat as quickly as possible. Very important. I'll be right down.
I heard you were going away, so I thought I'd come down and see you off.
That was nice of you.
So you changed your mind about me?
No, not a bit. You were nothing in my life but another chance. When a better one came along, I swung onto it.
I see.
So what? You walked out on me when your picture was finished. I was no more use to you. The same to you, old man, and plenty of them.
Somebody's been to see you. Who was it, my father? Answer me.
All right, suppose he did. He made me a sporting proposition, and I took him up on it. I'm independent for life, see? Why should I bury myself in Arizona when I can do as I please? I'd be bored stiff. Thomas Edison made better stars than Arizona ever had. Besides, I'm going around the world with a guy who's got more dough than you could raise in a lifetime.
It's a great story, but I don't believe a word of it. Listen to this. I just found it. Dear Fritz, I'm running out on you. What you need on this trip is a comforter, not a wet blanket. Bon voyage, Gloria. Come on, now, get your things together. You're going to Arizona whether you like it or not.
Dick, listen to me.
I'm listening.
You me alone.
I can't do it. I love you.
But I'm not the sort of woman you want to marry.
I love you.
But I'd be a millstone around your neck.
Will you shut up and listen to me? I love you.
Love isn't everything.
Oh, darling, I need you so badly. You're not going to let me down now, are you? So listen, do you want to go around the world? Well, we better get out of here, quick. Well, Fred, so long. Have a nice trip. George, grab that luggage in there, quick, will you, please?
Yes, sir. Sure, you know those bags where they are. And I told you...